One of the first things that I want to have you communicate for everyone is Vision Zero, that title, and why the county has utilized it in these efforts throughout Middlesex.
Middlesex County has recognized that European countries and other places around the country have had great successes at reducing the fatalities on our roadways by embracing Vision Zero. That's why it's a priority for us. We have altogether too many people getting injured or killed on our roadways, and we want to do something about it.
Those efforts have been something that you can see the widespread reach in trying to accomplish it. One of the things that I find really interesting about it is the way in which, and we've talked about this, the data collection, the points throughout the county that were identified as high-risk areas and how we want to try to make that shift. Can you just speak to what that is to collect that much information to help inform where we need to focus our efforts?
Sure. One of the things that Middlesex County planning staff have been doing is working with our prosecutors and our state police who track fatalities every day. Every day is a little much, but every single week, first thing we do on a Monday morning is we track and see, were there any fatalities in Middlesex County on any roadways, not just ours, in the past week. And then we meet with the prosecutors to say, is there something we can do about this? Are there trends? Are there locations? Is there an engineering or a planning perspective that we could bring to this to stop those trends?
How encouraging has it been internally to see the number of departments and the reach of people that are willing to get behind this, to have the discussions and say, it's a collective effort, but you need everyone to want to make that change together?
Back in the 70s, Mothers Against Drunk Driving made a social change issue out of buzz driving. No, that's not socially acceptable. That's where we're at with Vision Zero. Vision Zero, we know people are getting hurt and even killed on our roadways, and distracted driving should be that same kind of cultural shift of, oh my goodness, you did what? You'd be ashamed to say, oh, I was doing something other than responsibly operating my motor vehicle. And that is really what Vision Zero supports in the large scale. We want to make a cultural shift, prioritize safety on our roadways.
And of course, the effort, even underneath Vision Zero, of 60 to 0, right? 60 to 0 lives lost. It should never be associated around an acceptable number that is not 0. And that's ultimately the goal. One of the locations that we've obviously seen a dedicated effort to is Route 1. Can you just speak a little bit about being involved in that and what it means from a county effort?
So our county prosecutors have a corridor-wide initiative to improve safety on Route 1. It's targeted enforcement. It's variable message signs, so messaging to drivers out on the road. And we've been getting together with them and police departments all along the corridor and saying, okay, where are the crashes happening? They happen to be at where signalized intersections are far spaced. And for the first time in a long time, people got to stop. So we're working on ways, either through education, enforcement, or engineering, to try and mitigate that and reduce the number of crashes that are happening, especially at those locations.
Distracted driving is the leading cause of crashes in Middlesex County. Nearly 60 people lose their lives on the road every year. To tackle this, we're committed to Vision Zero, aiming to eliminate all traffic-related deaths and serious injuries. Because every number is a life. We envision a future where no one has to fear for their life on the road. Let's work together and drive distraction-free from 60 to 0 lives lost.
And specifically, as a supervisor of engineering, where does your mind fit into these discussions when you hear talking about the efforts? Do you say, from an engineering perspective, this is where we can make an immediate change. This is where we can see an impact?
On a roadway, if half the drivers are not behaving as enforcement would want them to, then maybe it's not an enforcement issue. Enforcement issue is for the outliers. If it's 15% or so are speeding, okay, that's what we need the folks, the officers to enforce. Mm-hmm. But if half the people are speeding or otherwise misbehaving on our roadways, maybe there's something with the roadway that we could tweak to make it seat of the pants, intuitive for drivers to say, oh, I shouldn't be operating this other way. I should be operating more responsibly, because you can tweak things with enforcement, but if half the people aren't getting it, maybe there's something more we could do.
One of the last things that I want to ask you about, has there been a movement that you have seen in terms of all the data that's been collected, the effort that's been made, and a key intersection, maybe on Route 1, where you said, oh, we've seen a reduction in maybe some of those incidents or in the way people drive there, speeding and other ways? Is there something that we can point to and say, here's a sample of success?
Route 1 is a challenging route.
Yeah.
It's high capacity because it's a corridor for moving motorists. It also moves people. People need to be able to get across and along that roadway to jobs, to shopping. So Route 1 serves multiple purposes, which is part of why it's so challenging. And any tweaks to that, we'll be working with the State Department of Transportation. It's their jurisdiction. It's their game, but we have a healthy working relationship with them, and we look forward to trying to enhance safety all along and across Route 1.
Think you don't qualify for property tax relief? Think again. It's happening. If you're a homeowner 65 or older, earning income up to $500,000 annually, you qualify for the Stay NJ Property Tax Relief Program. If you have a loved one thinking about leaving New Jersey, help them stay with Stay NJ Property Tax Relief. Apply online by October 31st. A lifetime of memories, a community you love. Stay in Middlesex County, right where you belong. Stay NJ.
As the supervisor of engineering, I know that you are relatively young in the county in terms of your role, but what brought you into the county and brought you into that role? What made you passionate to take that on?
I've only been at Middlesex County a few years, but I've spent my career, the last 30 plus years, in transportation safety. I have been working even with Middlesex County as a consultant, and I've gone from designing sidewalks for seniors, for American Disability Act accessibility, safe routes to school, complete streets, and Vision Zero. I've built my career on making it safer for people to get around no matter how they choose to travel. And doing that here at Middlesex County has such opportunity. There's so much potential to make things better, make our travel more accessible, give people more choices here in Middlesex County. And I see us at a tipping point for making the Middlesex County's travel even more inviting.
It's been the kind of passion and drive that I've seen from members both inside the county like yourself, with partnerships with nonprofits like Brian Tobin and Keep Middlesex Moving. That is an encouraging sign that the things we want to accomplish as a county are achievable because you have the driving voices behind it. Thank you very much for spending some time with us.
Oh, glad to.